Okay, we are officially live.
Awesome.
So, hello to everybody. I am Sandy,
And I am Chloe.
and this is WordStitch.
This is WordStitch.
WordStitch, yeah. And we are talking about crazy things that happen with sales. We had promised to talk about self-publishing this month, but we were specifically, I think, answering a question from Nikki who wasn't here last week. So,
Right. And she hasn't checked in yet this week. So we will see if we're gonna go into an in-depth sales or self-publishing discussion. Sorry, we were talking many words in my head right now, and like I'm looking at other stuff right now, which I shouldn't do when I'm hosting, but here we are.
no, it's good. You're experiencing sales success. This is a good thing to think about.
Kind of. I mean, I'm losing more money than I'm making, but I am making money. It's a weird game. Building mailing lists. That's a good one because that's something that I'm actually kind of working on today. Sandy, what are you working on today?
So I switched gears this month, and I decided that I'm not very focused on my fiction right now, so I should focus on something I can do, which is a nonfiction memoir about the like 8 years of infertility treatments that I went through. I've got like a whole hell of a lot to say. And that is going really well. Like I'm almost at 30,000 words, and I switched like last week or something.
Yeah. How long do you think it's going to be?
I was hoping it would be about 60,000, but I seem to have so much to say in every chapter. I think it could potentially be 80,000.
Awesome.
Yeah, but still, so I'm pleased with that. And today my goal was to get to 6,000 words, and I'm at like 4,300 because I was at another write-in today by Natalia Bafia. So if you're interested in that, Natalia just showed up. Hello. But we can totally talk about mailing lists because I have not done anything with that with any nonfiction. So, so Chloe, are you writing a newsletter today?
So no, so technically I'm working on the cover, and then I am doing a final proofreading pass on the novelette reader magnet for I just started the completely wrong app. I went to start my my hourglass, my timer, and instead I just started Scrivener. I haven't used Scrivener in months, and that's okay. But anyways, so I am going to be working on this novelette, which is going to be a free bonus content for newsletter signups. So yeah, that is exactly what I'm working on, just in like a really complicated way, but I'm absolutely working on newsletters today. And hopefully I have this book cover done in the next pass. As I was telling Sandy, I did one effect and it messed up another effect. So I got to do a little bit of cleanup, and then I might have a really, really dumb book cover to show you guys after this 10 minutes. There we go. This 10-minute sprint. We're going to get that started right now because it is 5 after. There we go. I'm rambling like this because I'm trying to get it loaded.
We don't have your screen shared yet, though.
That's what I'm doing right now. I was rambling while I was looking for the share screen button, and now Chrome is thinking real hard.
Chrome.
Yeah. I got the spinny wheel happening, and hopefully the spinny wheel goes away in a second. It says it's not responding, but like I hear you, and I'm assuming you'd be telling me if like things are going disastrously on my end.
Yeah, I can hear you. You're here. I can attempt to do this. That could.
Okay.
The last time I did this, Chrome crashed on me. So let's see. Let's see if I can't make this happen. It's 10 minutes, right?
Yes, I'm not gonna lie. I've been letting my computer run for way too long with way too many programs open, and this is probably reaping what I have sown. I might have to restart Chrome. I'll let you know on the flip side.
Okay, so we'll start now with this not as pretty timer. All right, good luck, guys. I'm not nearly as smooth. Oops. Not nearly as smooth with that as I am with Chloe's.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the whole disaster
timer.
all
Sorry
around,
about
so
that.
it's okay.
Oh, wait. Welcome if you are joining us, and hopefully you got a little bit done during that 10 minutes. I was typing away, and then, so since this is like a memoir and I'm trying to go back through like various things that I've done, my husband and I have done so many fertility treatments that I don't remember them all at this point.
Oh,
So I
sweet,
had to go and like
timeline.
dig out. Yeah, it's ugly. So I have this like had to like pull out this like massive amount of information so that I could find records of what I've done. That research is gonna suck.
Like, so that podcast I listen to, every once in a while, like sometimes she'll have authors on who have done like 30 plus books, and every single time there's this like, I don't know how many I've written. She's written over, I think, 80 now. So she's the same way. I don't know what it is. And for a while there, I was like, that's ridiculous that you don't remember how many books you wrote. And then I'm like, I actually have no idea how many. Like, I have to stop and do the math, and I'm at 8. I have to like count series. I have to be like, I got this many in this series, and this many in this series, and I can only count the ones that are actually published, because like I have other books that are finished, but I could never come up with them all in my brain if I have to.
I mean, I think, of course, like as we get older, we have more to keep track of, but I really thought I had like a few more years before I would stop being able to keep track.
You also have
Stephanie said she's
right now.
What?
You also have right now.
Well, I'd like to blame this on pregnancy brain. This is not pregnancy brain. This is just, there's just a whole hell of a lot to remember. Stephanie says she's writing a memoir too, and it's easier for her to write at night when her kids are in bed. I don't have kids to be in bed right now, so this is a little bit
working on it.
Working on it. Trying to finish this like before that would be a thing. So Chloe, what about you? How did you do?
I finished that book cover.
Oh, right. God, that was pregnancy brain. Okay, right there. I'm glad you finished your book cover.
Yeah.
So, some mailing lists, right? That's our topic. You want to take it on first, Chloe? What are your general thoughts about mailing lists?
Yeah, so I hate admitting this, but they're kind of essential. I feel like I wouldn't be able to. So, like the thing, especially here I go stammering all through it. As we were talking, I don't know if we were on air talking about this. No, we were talking about it before. The thing with like writing series is, of course, you want people who read your first book to keep going on to your second book. And it's hard to get people to do that. So like Sandy and I were talking about the reason I thought it was real strange that people were buying all 3 of my books at the same time when you can buy one and then immediately buy the other. This isn't Barnes and Noble's days, like you can just immediately pick up the next one. And Sandy pointed out that like a lot of times it's hard to like, it can be a struggle to find that book, especially if there's not a link in the back of the first book. And it can just be something that like you decide to do later and then you never do it. And then you forget about this series that you really loved, but our brains don't last very long. So the newsletter, getting people to read your newsletter is getting people to buy your books. And I know this because every single time I put out a newsletter about my pre-orders, I get some sales from that. And I wouldn't have gotten those sales otherwise. I know that because they're immediately right after I send that newsletter out. Within the first day, I don't do any marketing and I get some sales. And every time I get a little bit more, I'm still kind of at the bottom of the barrel, but I still get I get a little bit more every time. So yeah. And everything that I hear from, authors who are far more successful than me is, yeah, you need that newsletter. Figuring out what to put in it is a little bit of a struggle. Getting people to sign up for it is a massive struggle, but you need that newsletter.
So I was really on board with newsletters the first year that I did this, and I did pick up some ARC readers from for one of my pen names, and like the romance chick lit one. For my Steamy Angels, the newsletter, initially you sort of pick these up with freebie like kind of
Yeah.
things. Um, those readers were terrible. Like
Yeah.
they barely responded. They did not seem to want anything that wasn't free. I never got ARC readers out of that. Now, like January rolled around and my life got insane, and so that sort of put a halt to my writing in both of those ways. Like I finished one more Angel book, and then I haven't finished another since then. So I don't have any books to offer right
Hmm.
now. And I think what that means for me is it also, I mean, it sort of starts to feel like, so why am I emailing you if I'm like doing nothing right now? You're supposed to be doing your newsletter all the time. I'm gonna fix that shortly. Um,
That sounded so threatening for like putting the dog out or
she's
whatever.
she's crazy. We I've had too many people working in my house recently. By this I mean my husband and my dog. So I would like to say that newsletters have ever been like helpful for me with sales, but they really haven't generated more than a couple of sales here or there. And for YA, oh my gosh, like major disaster. I think YA people hate newsletters. My sense is that they don't even want to hear from you, and they're not looking for books and newsletters, and they view it as gimmicky. So like weirdly, while I agree with you that for romance theoretically you have like readers coming back and signing up for your newsletter and that's how they find out about your books, in the young adult world it is totally different. And my sense is that it's potentially harmful to be emailing newsletters all the time, and you're not putting up books all the time either. So like it's just spam for these readers, and I'm not
I
sure
would
yet about
say
nonfiction.
most of my like higher end newsletters, like the people I follow who are like J.R. Ward and Larissa Ione and Gina Showalter, they I get maybe two a year from them. Um,
Right, which
so
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
But I
Um,
think this would be true for YA. Also, I think Alicia has a really good point here. I agree. I think social media is probably better for YA.
yeah, yeah. If you're actually trying to get young adult readers, then you need to go where the young adults are, and they're not in email.
Right. Although advertising might work. Herb asked, do we call non-responders? I think we both do.
Yes, 100%, but it is 25 after. So we're going to um do our 25-minute sprint that I haven't set up. I'm sorry, Sandy. I should have set that up
No,
while I
it's
was doing
fine.
nothing.
Should
Um,
I do mine or
no,
what
no,
should
no. I have it. It just I should have shared screen already. Um, but yeah, we'll talk about the non-responders when we get back from this sprint.
Okay, we are back.
Yes. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong dang screen. I'm like, we're not back yet. No, it's because I'm looking at YouTube.
So my office floor has just gotten more cluttered with papers as I try to figure out what the hell I did in 2014.
Oh, that was so
And
long
I might have
ago.
written like 100 words in there somewhere. Yeah, it was a really long time ago. That's yeah. Okay, but some people got words. Her got 643.
So we've got a weird delay going on right now, guys. I don't know who is delayed right now, but we are not synchronized, and I apologize. I fought with Papyrus and came to the conclusion that I hate that effing app, and I am deleting it.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's funny. So, okay, all right. Chloe fought with an app. Alicia finished an assignment. Good work. What were we talking about before this? Mailing lists, right?
We were talking about mailing lists. Herb had asked about culling the list.
Right.
I know, so we both use MailerLite, but I can't imagine that this is not something that's on every single mailing list provider. Everybody should have some sort of an option for that like automatically does it. MailerLite is pretty light-handed. I think it literally only culls those who have not opened a single email ever and have been on the list for more than 6 months. It's something like that. I go in and do a more in-depth one, but that's because so again, Sandy and I both did the reader magnet building through BookFunnel, which I don't think is a terrible thing to do in the beginning, but you will get like 95% really useless people on it. And I don't want to have to pay for those people to be on it. And I also don't like having my open rate be 20%. So I absolutely go through and remove those people. I have, again, like I say, most of them, like 95% of them are useless. That means that 5% of them have been valuable. I have gotten ARC readers, as has Sandy. I have gotten sales from those people, but overall, they're just trash. They might be totally fine people, but for me, they're trash. They're useless on my newsletter. So yes, I absolutely get rid of them once I get to the point where it's clear they're not going to open my emails.
Can we think of the emails as trash and not the people behind
the email
them?
accounts?
Because
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Yeah. Because yeah, I also sort of like recently they're fine trash, Devin.
Or kind of trash for just taking a whole bunch of free books and not even bothering to open the emails. That was literally all they had to do to get those free books.
Oh my gosh, my husband and I got in like the biggest fight about libraries the other day and whether it's appropriate for people to get books from libraries when they can easily afford to get them digitally. It was a real strong argument.
Oh, I mean, I'm just really frugal. So I have like a price point where I'm willing to pay for books. And most traditionally published books are well beyond that price point. So I absolutely get them from the library. I'm not spending $14 on J.R. Ward's next piece of trash, Black Leather Brotherhood.
I'm well, we can fight this out at a different time. I have strong feelings about libraries. I like libraries. I think we should support libraries. I think that they're wonderful for people who can't afford books, and also that there's a point where everybody, gets where they don't want to spend $14.99 on a book. Our books are priced at like $2.99. So I mean, I have a real problem with like people who can easily afford their Starbucks lattes, but like don't want to spend $2.99 on a book to give
Yeah.
hours of enjoyment. I just
Yeah.
I think
Again,
that's
like I just have a price point. Like there is a point where it is just too expensive, but
sure.
I've never looked at an indie book and been like, $4.99. I don't think so.
Yeah, let me see if I can't find this for free somewhere on a pirated site.
Right.
This drives
Pirate
me.
Bay, how you doing? I don't even know if Pirate Bay exists anymore.
I don't know. I mean, there's all kinds of pirate sites out there, though. There used to be a
Yeah.
program that you could sign up for that would help you find your stuff on like pirated websites, and then that program turned out to like be kind of a
Yeah.
like hoax. Um, so there's probably tons of people trying to get your stuff for free all of the time. But yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Like you're on the newsletter, you only signed up for the book. You didn't even bother to read the book half the time. Well,
Yeah.
they don't need your
Yeah.
they don't need your hard work.
Like, it's
Um,
probably not even an actual email. And the thing is that like the other thing, like you can totally have all of these people on your list. It doesn't hurt anything except all of these programs or all these apps, providers, I guess is the right word. They all charge you based on the number of people and the number of emails that you're sending out. It's not like they charge you a cent per unit or whatever, but like if you're over for Mailer Lite, you can get it for completely free up to 1,000 people. And if you go over 1,000 people, then you have to pay for it. I am over 1,000 people. I stupidly resubscribed to it before I culled my list, and now my list is at 900 people. And I'm like, I could have saved myself $100 this way. And I don't make nearly enough money off these books to be paying $100.
Yeah. By the way, so we do have people doing other stuff. I just noticed the pronoun. I'm not sure I said hello, but pronoun is getting some research done. Good job. Um, yeah. So, um, how about building mailer lists as a potential topic? Because I think
Yes.
it's hard, and that a lot of the things we've done, some have helped in some genres, and some have been totally pointless. Um,
Yes. We'll talk about that on the next one because we are going into a sprint in a couple of minutes. But yeah, like a book funnel is good for what it is, but you have to know that like you're not going to be getting a whole lot of useful stuff out of it. But like it's a good starting point. I think we're both onto the point where we need to get more useful things, and that's why I'm writing an entire novelette to get more useful people. Yeah, I guess let's go ahead and start the sprint and then we'll talk about it when that is done. We are going to write for the next 30 minutes. So we will see you guys at about 1:30.
Okay. The dog started barking
Am I
right
hearing
then.
another dog?
No, that's mine. Yeah. And we have a delay again, so I should maybe what we going to talk about right now.
Effective ways to get people to subscribe to newsletters.
Oh, right. But there's also been all these comments. I did not catch any of them. Oh,
They
names
were,
for an Indian restaurant.
yeah, they were just basic questions.
Oh my God, I want Indian food right now. I would like kill for good naan and 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 maybe those spicy chickpeas and the curry sauce.
Do you not
Kill.
have good naan in Raleigh? Or good Indian in Raleigh, I guess would be their way of saying it.
So we aren't ordering any takeout or going to any restaurants where we can't like sort of scoop something up out of a pizza
Yeah.
box and put it into our oven. Which is probably super uber paranoid, but if I end up with COVID, I can't end up with COVID right
Yeah.
now. So I did write 1,000 words, so I feel really
Excellent.
good about that. What about you?
I did a good chunk of this proofreading that I needed to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
So getting subscribers. So I am not convinced anymore that that like freebies are the way to do this, or that newsletters are the end all be all. I feel like advertisements might be just as effective and better
Well,
for some genres.
advertising is, but it costs money. A
Yes, it
newsletter
does.
is not. I mean, I guess like if you count in like BookFunnel or whatever, but like once a person is on your newsletter, they no longer cost any money.
Yeah, that's totally true, but you have to spend time getting them on your newsletter, right? So which leads to this whole question of like, how do you do it? And I don't know. I'm always driven a little bit nuts by like things like people who say, well, I just built my newsletter organically, but like I did that 10 years ago.
Right.
Or right, like I
I
just
always wonder what exactly people mean when they say organically. I feel like it's the same thing as I didn't do any advertising. I just have 30,000 people following my Twitter account. Uh, yeah, I feel like that organically is actually like basically going into the stuff that I'm heading toward right now, which is in no way organic and actually a whole bunch of work. It's just passive work. Like I do the work and I put it out there and I no longer have to do it. I mean, I'll still have to do something, but like once I put it out there, it's just out in the world. Yeah, but yeah, like I feel like that whole I built it organically thing is actually I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I've had like all of 4 people click on my subscribe link from the back of my books and all of the books that I've sold.
Yeah, so this is the other thing, right? Like I'll put the subscribe links in the back of my books, but I mean, you know, what we're assuming right now is that there's enough sales to begin with, if you're trying to go organically, that people are even reading your books, right? So like, you've got a little chicken and egg problem. That
Yeah, it's a catch-22.
yeah. So I mean, basically, like freebie subscribers are the ones reading your book to begin with. They signed up for your newsletter from something like BookFunnel. Like you were all excited, or I was, because you can manage more than 1,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah.
Except that then those subscribers don't want to actually buy your books, and they don't lead, unless they give you reviews, they don't lead to your ability to sell more books. So like now what's their point?
Also, this has affected you more than me, but I've also had a little bit of it. They're really bitchy.
Yeah.
Like, how
yeah.
dare I expect them to look at a newsletter in exchange for this free product.
Yeah.
How dare you, Sandy, mention that your book is in Kindle Unlimited? You are shoving Kindle Unlimited down that woman's throat.
Yeah, there was totally a subscriber who like got just real angry at me at some point because I put in a newsletter that my book was free on Kindle Unlimited, and she wrote back to tell me that she's just so sick of authors pushing Kindle Unlimited. It's not actually free. You're just borrowing the book. And I'm thinking to myself, lady, like, just unsubscribe. Like,
Yeah.
that's easy enough. Like, you don't have to take my book. I mean, you did already for free, right?
Right.
But if you're not happy getting it with your Kindle Unlimited subscription again or something, I don't know. Like, yeah,
It's craziness. Yeah.
it is totally not okay.
And I don't know how else to describe it other than, I mean, I do usually say available on Kindle Unlimited because like I also don't really like the free word, but I do know that that's the common phrasing for it. Like I don't get bothered. I get bothered when they like put free in all caps, like trying to trick people into thinking the book is free, but you know, like as long as it's not too aggressive, whatever.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I might not even have written free. I might just have written available on. Like, I'm not the kind of person who would have been all crazy,
Yeah.
right? So that's it's it was an impressively kind of like nasty thing to
It's
do.
a weird moment.
Yeah, really, really not that much fun. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think also there's this thing where, okay, so like you're trying to build your list, right? You need organic subscribers. So these need to be people ideally who've bought your book for money and then liked it enough that they want more. So they clicked subscribe, right? So that's a real slow process.
Yes.
Now, in the meanwhile, like you have these freebie subscribers or any subscribers really. And not only could they write you back like real nasty things and take your books for free, they can also mark your newsletter as spam. Just mark it as spam.
Yeah.
Because they don't bother deleting.
I thankfully have only had it happen like twice, and I'm pretty sure that book funnels or book mailer light, their threshold is pretty high on that. But yeah, if you, just so you guys know, if you are not like in the point where you have gotten to like putting newsletters out, if you mark something as spam, then the provider of that newsletter dings the person whose newsletter it is. So like obviously if you're getting actual spam, like lists you didn't sign up for, or lists that you tried to unsubscribe from and it didn't work, that's fine. But like if you just are tired of getting newsletters from anybody, I guess probably like Best Buy is in-house, so like whatever, they don't give a crap. But like any small company, whether it's an author or anything else, if you subscribe to their newsletter and then don't want to be on it anymore, don't spam. Don't click the spam button. Just scroll down to the bottom, hit unsubscribe.
Yeah, right. And people don't even think about it, right? Like they think that they're, I don't know what, just like cleaning out their email box. They have no idea they're hurting you. Like they got your free thing. They definitely volunteered for your newsletter. You're not like a vacuum cleaner seller. You're mostly offering them free stuff. Like they're constantly getting opportunities to be an advanced reader, right? So if they want your stuff, they can have it for free always. And then they go and write that you're spam, and there's a button that says unsubscribe, you know? Like, oh my gosh. This makes me kind of really dislike people in a lot of ways. Like, honestly, like, how lazy are you? Take it down, Sandy.
So here's the flip side. When you start to get readers, or when you're willing to budget out just for the newsletter, there are other options. One that a lot of authors do is the bonus content. You have read their book, They have a link at the back. If you like this book so much and you want to read more about this character or these characters or whatever this world, click this link, subscribe to my newsletter, and I will give you this content for free. A lot of times, like most of what I see is bonus scenes, and that has never wowed me enough to actually do it. So I am currently writing a full, like, 11,000 word novelette. So it's not just a scene; it's a little story that will connect this book to the next book. It's not necessary to read. It's not going to mess up people who don't subscribe to the newsletter. But if you want like a little sneak peek of where the next book is going, and also have like a little adventure and some more time with those characters and some steamy bits, then, and like a fight scene and like a funny Thanksgiving scene, then, you know, there it is. It's a complete little story. So that is one option. The other thing, and I haven't done this yet, but I did recently do a little mini webinar thing with Mark Dawson, who's pretty well known in the industry for marketing as a self-published author. He did a whole thing about using Facebook to get newsletter subscribers. This is part of their marketing options. Obviously, like I feel like it's not odd that like most authors are trying to get sales and put their money directly into sales. But if you want to put a little bit of money into getting newsletter subscribers, there is an option where you can literally just have people subscribe to your newsletter. And the thing is, like, the difference between that and BookFunnel is that people go to BookFunnel specifically to get free product. These things are advertised as free. They go on people's newsletters. They say, here's a bunch of free books. Somebody who's already picked up one free book is like, oh, here's a whole bunch more free books. Let me pick up a whole bunch more free books. On Facebook, it's just you doing your scrolling thing. So you do, according to Mark Dawson, and it makes sense, you do want to offer free whatever to entice people to sign up for the newsletter. But according to him, and I feel like he's pretty trustworthy on these things, you do get a fairly reliable newsletter group that way. People are less likely to just sign up for the free thing, but that free thing is a good way for them to know if they want to keep reading your stuff, if they want to actually pay money for it.
So because I'm obsessive, I just spent a bunch of that time looking for that particular email. I wrote, now available on Kindle Unlimited.
Shoving it right down her throat.
Yeah. She wrote, I really do wish all you authors would stop plugging KU. It is a scam. You don't get to keep the books you download. They're on loan and taken back after 10 days.
That's not true.
I don't
just for the record, in case any of you don't know what Kindle Unlimited is, it's a subscription program. It's basically like Netflix for books. Authors decide whether they want their books to be in it or not. If their books are in it, then they have to be exclusive to Amazon. So like I can't have my book in Kindle Unlimited and also be selling it on Apple. But so you have to be exclusive to them, and they pay out based on page read. So they take all of the money that they get in that month from the subscription, and then they, you know, obviously they take their profit from it, and then they divide it up among everybody based on page reads. So for the users, though, you can only have 10 books on your Kindle at a time. You can have them on there forever, but you can only have 10 of them before you have to return them. But also, just like a library, you can take them out again, assuming the author keeps their book in Kindle Unlimited, and most who put it on there keep it on there. You can get that book again. So you're not restricted by 10 days. It's 10 books. And you do have to return it, but if you want to read it again, you can read it again. And the beauty with that for me is I get paid again if you read it again. Yeah. So that's actually how Kindle Unlimited works.
Yeah, right. And it's, yeah, I don't know. The newsletter thing is all crazy, right? Like any indie that's doing well will probably tell you a newsletter is necessary. And then also, like, I I I feel like it's like you really have to know who your reader is, right? Like you have to know how often they want the newsletters, and it can't be your only thing because I mean, maybe 5 years ago, newsletters got people tons of
Mhm.
sales, but I mean, like,
No, it's just to keep your readers. It's
right.
certainly like one cog in the machine that is selling books. It's a big cog, but there are other big cogs like marketing on Amazon and marketing on Facebook and social media. But it is a cog that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cog, and maybe more importantly, like, let's say it's really important, but you need to know who's on your newsletter, right? Like,
Mhm.
20 people who want to buy your book are a million times better than 2,000 people who only got your book for free. So, like, all the book funnel stuff is nice, but caution, those readers just may not stick it out with you. And so, if you can find readers who bought your book on Amazon,
Mhm.
that's probably better. We need to write again. We're at our last writing
Yes.
thing. Uh,
Yes. So this is our last sprint. We are going to write for the next 10 minutes and then we'll see you guys out.
Okay.
So, fun little story about that little chunk that I just edited. When I was going through and did the first round of edits on it, I had gratefully spelled wrong, which is something that I kicked myself for because in a former career, I had to deal with the Grateful Dead a lot. So I know how to spell grateful, and it's not the word great with full after it, it's Grate. And so I was a little irritated with myself for spelling gratefully wrong. And then this time doing the editing pass, I discovered that the word was supposed to be gracefully. It wasn't even gratefully to begin with, but I got so distracted by the spelling error that I didn't notice it was straight up the wrong word.
But you did catch it, so
I did catch it the second time. I was like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Is happening. Oh, because they're being graceful, not grateful.
so good. That's good. This is why proofreading needs to happen more than once.
Yeah.
Uh,
Even when it's only 10,000 words.
so I guess thank you to everyone for
Yeah.
joining us.
Yeah.
We'll be back again next week. Oh my gosh. See, pregnancy brain is just totally screwing with my head right now. We are looking for, I am looking for co-hosts for this. For basically like starting in October for several months, because I'm not sure if I will be able to be available. I'm going to try, but I might not be. So I'm going to put a link to our Google thing in the.
Yeah, it is nice to have other people on the show.
It's fun, right? I mean, it has to get. We can only ramble about things for so long.
Yeah. A
So
really long time, it turns out.
Yes, that's totally true.
Yeah.
But if you want to co-host, please sign up, and we
It's
will.
really easy. You just
It's
really need a microphone. Like, we prefer you to be on video on camera because it's easier to interact with people on camera. But like, if you don't have a camera and you just want to be a microphone, we can deal with that too.
Yes, right. That good point. And also like it's pretty simple. Like you give us your name and your email, tell us if there's something particular you want to talk about, and that like before that week we'll send you the invite, and you just get to have fun with us the next week. So easy.
Yeah.
Also, you'll have my sincere gratitude because I have no idea how my fall is going to go now, and we don't want this to end. So, and I'm sure Chloe doesn't want to do them all on her own. Although Chloe, you're
Also, we're going to nano. Like, we're coming into nano season right now, so
yeah, we got work
we're
to
gonna
do.
have new people. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your question?
So you were talking about potentially doing some like early mornings for like
Yeah.
a couple weeks, which
Yes.
I'll join you for maybe sometimes.
Yeah. It's going to be in a couple of weeks. I'm going to start doing some 8 a.m. shows because I have left my job and I need to make sure that I am motivated. But I'll have a better idea of what I'm doing with that in probably another week. And it's going to be weirdly flexible. I think I'm just going to do Tuesdays and Thursdays to start, maybe Tuesdays and Fridays. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so our show is going to be expanding to a little wake up thing in the mornings. The mornings on the East Coast. I guess if you are in Europe, it's probably lunchtime there. And that's probably a good time to have sprints too. And there really aren't that many. So, yeah.
Yes. So
I have no idea. Australia, by the way, I haven't forgotten Australia and like other countries. It's just that I only know our time zone and England's.
Yeah, so some more for us. I don't know, like maybe we'll do some of those sewing things periodically, but
Yeah.
we don't have one scheduled right now. So
also, if any of you like paranormal romance or demon romance and you want to read my stuff, I currently have the third book in my Candy for Demons trilogy on Book Sprout. And if you do want to read it, I do have complimentary copies of the first two books linked to that. Yes, Alicia, all of this is going to be on this channel. And again, I'll have a better idea. Things are really weird. I'm quitting my job and immediately house sitting for my parents for 10 days. So everything is just crazy. That first week, I might do it literally every single day. I don't know.
So that'll be interesting. Many sprints coming up. I
Yes.
hope you do it every day. I think that would be fun.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I really just need that accountability. So yeah.
so
And
if you
and
have to
again, like
get
there's nobody, at least on like the author tubers, like the spreadsheet that we have, the Google spreadsheet, there's nothing early. And I'm like, I'm an early person. I currently work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'd like to keep on something like that schedule, especially if I ever end up going back. And also I just want to make sure that I start my day productively.
okay.
Thank you, Natalia. I'm very excited about it myself. Maybe I can make a career out of this writer thing. Maybe I just take like a 2-month sabbatical. We'll see.
Okay, so there's probably another sprint going on somewhere else. If
Yes.
you are, looking for one, our description has that like whole huge list, and I think that, let's see, who goes live after us. I think Samantha Nassett goes live at like 8 p.m. So maybe that's a possibility. Go find more words if you want to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we should let everybody go. So thanks for joining us today. Oh, here another live stream in case anybody wants to join. Feel free to put your live streams in the comments, guys. But otherwise, we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Hey, you guys have a good one.
All right, bye everyone.